Hey, gamer friends, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Josiah,
and
we are ready to roll. Do you think it is important to track your stats?
Well, it is for us,
It is for us.
but I could see why some people wouldn't track their stats. It's kind of a pain to log in all of your plays and things.
Can be, yeah.
Yeah. But why do we track our stats?
Well, because it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's interesting. It's fun to go back and see what games we've played, how long we played them, how many times we played them.
I agree.
I like seeing those stats. It's just, to me, it's really fun.
I do too. It's really fun. It ultimately gives you bragging rights.
It can.
Yeah, because we have just a side competition. Would this be like a meta competition?
I don't know, maybe.
Like metagaming, but
Yeah,
like different. I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe not. But it's kind of this side competition monthly who has the best win percentage.
Yeah.
And so the vast majority of months since we've been keeping track, you have had the better win percentage. But there have been months where I have beat you. So I've
Is
won
that
a few
right?
times. Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't think I
Well,
had it all?
you didn't tell me. You
I
just
guess
you
I
didn't
forgot
you
to
didn't
tell
brag
you.
about it. So
Well,
brag about it.
I guess I'm gonna have to. I'll have to get better about bragging. And it helps us remember which games we played. That's really important for us because we do our monthly recaps and we like to go back and look at all the games we played and which games we really enjoyed, which games maybe wouldn't make the cut for us, and that's a good way to do that.
Yeah. And it gives you super nerdy stats like H index.
Yes, that is
which
so
I
true.
didn't know what it was before BG stats. So yeah.
Yeah, what I've noticed, which I find really fascinating, is that the board game community is like really into stats.
Yeah.
And so much so that they will create all kinds of math things that I could not ever do and make all of these statistics with it. If you ever go onto Board Game Geek, there are so many articles of, hey, I took this information and I put it together and here are the stats for that.
Right.
And I find that fascinating.
Yeah. You were telling me the other day about somebody you were watching and they were talking about the equation that they created.
Right.
To track some stat.
Yeah, it was the Roles in the Family guys. Yeah. And they had created this equation to figure out if, as a player, if they were more of a player who enjoyed like going really deep into games, or if they were a player that liked more of like the
breadth,
the width and the breadth. So it's like the breadth of how many games they played. Like they enjoy kind of a more shallow gameplay, but they play a lot more games.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he created all of these equations with these variables that he took into consideration. And I was like, my mind was kind of like what is he even doing?
Are we even the same species?
Yeah, like I'm like, we are so not on the same plane here. But I still found it fascinating because I think that, obviously a lot of board gamers are into statistics.
Yeah.
So
we first started tracking our plays on BGG, Board Game Geek, right?
Yes. That's how we started. Well, and I would only do it like periodically at first.
Yeah.
I actually didn't get really consistent at it until like maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And then I started getting really consistent with tracking our plays.
Yeah. And so we tracked plays only at first.
Right.
And then you started tracking players.
Yes.
With those plays.
Yes. And like the who won and who lost.
Yeah.
I started tracking that on Board Game Geek specifically.
And then you stumbled across something that kind of changed everything for us.
Yeah, so there was an app that we decided to download and it was BG Stats. So if you watch a lot of board game content, you've probably heard people talk about BG Stats.
Yeah.
Because it actually takes your information from BGG. So it's linked to BGG and it pulls all of that information in and then you can log your plays on that app. And so then we started tracking all kinds of fun things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of where the tracking of our plays and our stats exploded.
Yes.
Like the bell curve was like, woo.
Yes. Because then I'm like, no, wait, I have to put it in when we're starting a game because I just really enjoy it because we track We track players.
Yep.
We track how long the game is. So I'll try and hit that little start button and it'll just time it for us.
Right.
And so then you can see like how many hours of gameplay you've played.
Yeah.
And I think it has a way where it just like, it takes that automatically. It'll like put in a certain amount of time if you forget to do that.
Yeah.
But then you can go back and you can look like, oh, I didn't have very many plays this month, but I can tell we played bigger games or longer games because we still have however many hours of gameplay in. And so
yeah, it not only tracks how many hours you've played total, but how long each game you played.
Right.
It breaks it all down for you.
Yes. So you played 20 games and this game was 2 hours and this one you only played 30 minutes and whatever. And then it also tracks, it allows you to import games from Board Game Arena. So if you play online games, you can import it and it keeps those separate. So it'll show like you can put different locations in. And so that's how come we can say this is how many in-person plays we've had. And this is how many plays we've had on Board Game Arena because it does all of that for me. I'm not actually going and calculating anything.
Right. And one of the things that we are still, I think, trying to figure out with it is on BGA, I have a separate login than you.
Yes.
And how we're trying to figure out how we can get both of our BGA plays to sync to the one BG stats.
So somebody out there may know how to do that. You can just like message and let us know because that would be really helpful.
Yeah, please let us know.
Right now it just links to mine. So like when we play a game on BGA together, it'll pull you in.
That's right.
But not individually.
Right. And we wanted to take a minute here and pause the content to tell you guys that there are about 70% of our viewers who aren't subscribed.
Right.
So if you can, and you would like to, please hit the subscribe button and like the video. It really helps us out in the YouTube algorithms.
Absolutely. So another thing that BG Stats will track for us is that win percentage that we were talking about. That's like the bragging rights. So it'll say your win percentage for the month. It'll say your win percentage for all time or whatever. And I can go specifically into his stats and see different things. And it even keeps track of the players that we play on like BGA that we don't get to play in person because they live too far, but they're people that we love and care about. And I have them in there. And so it even tracks their stats with us too, which is really fun.
Yeah. And it even breaks it down, I think, into smaller increments than a month, right? I think you can look at week.
Yeah, you might be able to. I'm not sure. I always track it by the month. So I don't know about that.
I think you can track it by the week as well.
It's possible. And then it has that H index that it calculates automatically. So that is how many times you've played. Wait, okay, how do I say this? It is, I've played this many games, this many times. So if your H index is a 3, that means you played 3 games at least 3 times.
Right.
And that's the H index. And it does that for you as well.
Yeah. One of the cool stats that it does for us that I thought was pretty cool is it shows you the days of the week that you've played games.
Yes.
So we can track now, we play a lot more games on Mondays or on Thursdays or whatever.
Yes, because our week schedule is like Tuesday to Saturday. And so our weekend is Sunday and Monday typically. So we have a lot more games on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
And less on certain days of the week where we have things going on in the evenings and things. Another thing that is fun that he doesn't even know about that I've started doing is I created challenges in BG Stats. And that's pretty fun because I can put in a challenge and then whenever I log a play, it will automatically put it into that challenge. So one of the challenges I have for this year is I want to play 100 games at least one time. And so every time we play a new game, a different game, it's going to put that as part of our challenge. I also I want to play one game 100 times. And so that's a challenge that I set.
Okay.
And I'm surprisingly far on that one, thanks to Captain Flip. But anyway, so that's really interesting. So then it automatically logs that for you. And then it's like, yay, you added something to your challenge or whatever it says.
Right. Yeah.
So that's fun.
One of the coolest things about BG Stats for me is the overall awareness of what you do in your board gaming hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. it's just really interesting to go back and be like, oh, okay, we played for X amount of hours. I didn't even realize that.
Right.
Or things like that. It's just interesting to go back and see the stats on things that you
Mhm.
don't normally track
Right.
or you haven't tracked in the past. And so I think for us, it provides a huge value add to our lives.
Right, because we're content creators,
Right.
and so it's kind of neat to be able to share that information with you guys, so you know that, hey, we actually are playing games and
Right.
we're doing this, and it's for fun.
It is. But I even think if you're not a content creator, it would still add a lot of value, I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed doing it before we were content creators. I
Right.
just thought it was fun to look at. And so we could have that win percentage and be like, oh, wow, you're at, 45% win and I'm at 33% or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to kind of like ease your way into keeping
Stat
track
tracking?
and see if it's something that you would find fun. If you go to Board Game Geek, I would start ranking your games.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would do, because when you rank it, it helps us get, like, as a community,
Right.
like, know where those games stand. It helps with the, like, where they are of all time, where your games rank of all time, and the more people that rank, the better. And so I would say go rank your games, and you can also use PubMeeple if you do that to do like your own 50 best games of all time.
Right.
It'll pull whatever you've ranked in BGG, and so that would be the first thing I would do. And then start ranking your plays in BGG because it's free. The BG Stats app does have a one-time cost. It's not very expensive. It's
like
very
$7.
cheap. Is it $7?
Like a one-time $7 charge.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's very cheap, but BGG is free. So I would say start there, log your plays, and see if it's something that you find interesting first.
Definitely.
So if you enjoyed this conversation, please like and subscribe.
And tell us down below in the comments, what is your win percentage if you track your stats? I want to know, and let's just see who's the best.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.